Pete Best was a young man in Liverpool. He had a deep love for music, and, his chosen instrument was the drums. He played with a real, driving passion. Every beat he made was just full of energy. In the late 1950s, he joined a band. His new bandmates were talented local lads. Their names were John, Paul, and George. Together, they were just starting their musical journey. They often played in small, smoky pubs, and honestly, these gigs were their first taste of performing live. Liverpool's music scene was vibrant and growing. Pete's mother was a remarkable woman named Mona Best. She saw the spark in her son, and she also recognized the potential in his band. Mona was incredibly supportive of their musical dreams. She wanted to help them succeed in any way she could. An idea began to form in her mind. She owned a large house with a spacious cellar. Mona decided to convert this cellar. She would turn it into a music club for teenagers. This club would be a haven for rock and roll. Mona named her new venue the Casbah Coffee Club. It opened its doors in August 1959. The club was an instant hit with Liverpool's youth. Pete's band, then known as the Quarrymen, played there regularly. They soon became the Casbah's resident band. This steady gig was invaluable. It gave them countless hours of practice. They honed their skills and tightened their sound. Mona, with her keen business sense, acted as their informal manager. She was excellent at promoting events and drawing crowds. The Casbah Coffee Club was more than just a venue. It was a launching pad for the band. It served as their crucial home base. Mona's dedication was unwavering. While she booked other local acts, her son's band always held a special place. She truly believed in their talent and their future. Her efforts in managing bookings and creating opportunities were vital. This support helped them gain visibility. They were learning their craft, show by show, night after night. They were slowly becoming a known name in Liverpool. The band soon faced a new, exciting opportunity. They were offered a chance to play in Hamburg, Germany. This was a significant step up for them. Pete Best was their drummer for this adventure. His steady drumming and ownership of a drum kit were essential. The band traveled to Hamburg in August 1960. The city's music scene was raw and demanding. They played incredibly long hours, often for 8 hours a night. The clubs were rough, but the experience was formative. It toughened them up and made them better, tighter musicians. While in Hamburg, the group sometimes performed as a backing band. They supported another English singer named Tony Sheridan. During this period, they made their first professional recordings. They recorded several songs with Sheridan. For these particular records, the band was credited as the Beat Brothers. This was their initial taste of a real recording studio environment. It was an exciting development. They hoped these recordings might open new doors. They were learning the ins and outs of the music business. It was a challenging but educational time for all of them. Back in England, the band, now managed by Brian Epstein, sought a record deal. Epstein was ambitious and well-connected. He managed to secure an important audition for them. It was with Decca Records, a major player in the music industry. The audition took place on New Year's Day, 1962. The band performed a selection of their best songs. They were nervous, but also filled with hope. They eagerly awaited the record company's decision. This felt like their big break, their moment to shine on a larger stage. However, the news from Decca Records was not good. The label decided to pass on the band. They famously told Brian Epstein that guitar groups are on the way out. This rejection was a crushing blow to the young musicians. They were deeply disappointed and disheartened. It felt like a significant setback on their path to success. All their hard work and the high hopes pinned on the Decca audition seemed to vanish. Despite this, they had to find the strength to continue. Their future felt very uncertain. Even after the Decca disappointment, the band continued to perform. Their popularity in Liverpool remained strong. They had a devoted local following. Brian Epstein did not give up. He secured another recording test for them. This time it was with Parlophone, a subsidiary of EMI. The producer was George Martin. Martin saw potential in the group's sound and energy. However, he did express some reservations about the drumming style. This was perhaps a subtle early sign of impending changes. Pete, at this point, was unaware of these specific concerns. Then, in August 1962, Pete Best's world turned upside down. The change came suddenly and without much warning. Brian Epstein summoned Pete for a meeting. The news delivered was direct and shocking. The other members of the band, John, Paul, and George, wanted him out. They had decided to replace him with another drummer. That drummer was Ringo Starr, who played with Rory Storm in the Hurricanes. Pete was utterly stunned by this decision. He could hardly believe what he was hearing. It all happened incredibly fast, leaving him reeling. For Pete, there had been no clear indication of this drastic move. He had been a loyal member for 2 crucial years. He had endured the grueling schedules in Hamburg. He had contributed to their rising local fame. He was part of their journey from the very start. Now, just as things were looking up, he was dismissed. The experience was undoubtedly a painful and bewildering blow. He likely felt a sense of betrayal. His close friends and bandmates had made this choice behind his back. His musical career with them was over. Pete Best was now faced with an uncertain future. The band he had helped build was moving forward without him. They stood on the very brink of unprecedented success. Soon, they would officially be known worldwide as the Beatles. Their fame was about to explode onto the global stage. Pete, however, was left on the sidelines. He had to pick up the pieces and start anew. Showing resilience, he decided not to abandon music. He resolved to form his own band and forge a new path. The Beatles, now with Ringo Starr firmly on the drum stool, achieved phenomenal success. Their music took the world by storm. They dominated the pop charts in Britain, America, and beyond. They became more than just a successful band. They were a cultural phenomenon. Beatlemania swept across nations, a wave of fan hysteria unlike anything seen before. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr became global superstars. Their names and faces were recognized everywhere. Their impact on music and culture was immense and lasting. Pete Best, despite the immense disappointment, did not abandon his musical ambitions. He quickly formed a new group called the Pete Best Four. This band later evolved into the Pete Best Combo. They were a capable band and played good, energetic music. They managed to secure a recording contract of their own. They released records and toured, achieving a measure of success. They gained fans and recognition, particularly in the United States for a time. However, their level of fame was never comparable to that of the Beatles. His journey took a different turn. From the sidelines, Pete Best watched as his former bandmates conquered the world. It must have been an incredibly surreal and complex experience. He had been there at the very beginning, sharing their early struggles and dreams. He was an integral part of their formative years. One single decision, the change in the band's lineup, had profoundly altered his life's trajectory. He had missed out on the chance to be part of one of the biggest stories in music history. It was a stark reminder of fate's unpredictable nature. Pete Best's story is a compelling illustration of how small moments and seemingly minor changes can reshape a person's entire future. A decision made by others, for reasons still debated by fans, sent his life in a completely different direction. He was so incredibly close to unimaginable fame and fortune. Yet, he found the strength to continue, forging his own distinct path in music for several years. He eventually left the music industry and built a new life. His tale serves as a powerful lesson about opportunities, choices, and the often unforeseen twists of destiny. The date of this writing is May 23rd, 2025.